There you click.
Está grabando la chica.
Ah,
No, no.
ah. ¿Ahí está? ¿Sí? ¿Done? Bien,
Sí,
perfect. Welcome everyone. Estamos ahí en vivo en Instagram por Infocal AW. Cualquier cosita si quieren seguirnos ahí en Instagram. Y estamos bienvenidos. Estamos welcome. Vamos a empezar en Spanish un poquitito, ¿sí? Así acomodamos un poco la idea, cuál es la propuesta, qué es lo que queremos hacer con esta serie de talleres, empezando con la de Basics on Teaching. Porque nuestra idea siempre en las workshops ha sido trabajar en red. ¿Qué significa en red? Que podamos apoyarnos entre todos, que uno tenga un lugar donde consultar, donde saber que si necesita una capacitación, donde necesita de alguna manera, no sé, saber qué es lo que está pasando para estar actualizado sin necesidad de cursos que sean demasiado costosos o que sean difíciles o que sean demasiado teóricos. Hemos trabajado muchos años en Argentina trabajando, sobre todo en Bariloche, en esta red de contactos y que todos podemos estar comunicados. Entonces la idea ahora, digamos, con mi traspaso, mi lugar aquí ahí están las chicas, buenas, buenas. No me voy a distraer con Instagram, prometo, prometo. La idea es de poder generar aquí en Uruguay exactamente lo mismo, que podamos no solamente armar una red en Maldonado, Punta del Este, todo lo que es la zona, sino que todo Uruguay además y unir, es mi idea, unir ambas redes, es decir, la gente que está en Bariloche, que está en toda la Patagonia, tenemos Chubut presente hoy, tenemos Misiones, las chicas de Chaco, de San Luis, por todos lados, están todos conectados ahora también, así que esta es la idea, que podamos unirnos y que podamos ayudarnos, acompañarnos y demás entre todos. Para los que me conocen, que son varios aquí, ya saben que es mi pasión lo que estoy haciendo en este momento, es lo que más me gusta es hacer la parte de mentoring, trabajar en teacher training. La verdad es que las chicas hacen así porque saben que es así, amo lo que hago, hace muchísimos años que lo hago y ya estaba extrañando un poquito estábamos con un solo curso de teacher training los sábados y bueno, toda esta parte es la que más me apasiona y bueno, la idea es que yo en 30 segundos voy a switch into English, ¿sí? Pero yo lo que pretendo es que todos se sientan cómodos, ¿sí? La idea no es que esto sea detached from reality, que no sea algo alejado, que sea realmente algo que les sirva. Les puede suceder, si no están como muy acostumbrados a hacer capacitaciones en inglés, que les resulta un poquito difícil en algún momento, que les resulte como "Ay, no sigue", porque además yo hablo muy rápido en el castellano y en inglés, pero me voy a portar bien, prometo que voy a hablar tranquila, pero sí es importante que si hay alguna duda, algo no se entiende, ¿sí? Me detengan. Yo paro, explico, esto es para ustedes, no es para mí, ni mucho menos. La dinámica de hoy es diferente a las propuestas que les voy a contar un poquitito hoy, porque la idea de las propuestas que les voy a contar un poco hoy de lo que vamos a traer son más tipo talleres, es decir, que puedan trabajar, que hacemos un momento de reflexión, que podamos hacer este trabajo real. En este caso hoy lo que pretendo es hacer esto, digamos, presentación, contarles cuál es la idea, que nos conozcan y que podamos difundir, digamos, que es un lugar donde podemos empezar a crecer juntos, que es la idea y es nuestro lema. ¿Sí? Are we ready? Shall we switch into English? Yes? Right. Vamos, vamos into English here. Okay, bueno, basics and teaching. This is mostly what I thought it is supposed to be, what you need to know. Wherever you work, wherever you want to teach, even if it is at home, there are some things that, in my humble opinion, I think that you need to know. Probably you do already. There are probably plenty of these things that you do know. But in fact, what I want you to think is, or to brush it up, to think, oh, I have forgotten about this. I have never thought about this way. And I want to go a little bit more deep on this area or the other, right? So I'll be like moving a little bit to move forward here. I'll be sharing with you. Yes, you won't see me now because I'll be moving. Yes, in Zoom, they won't see me anymore. You will be seeing the screen. But anyway, if you want to stop me, you just tell me, Anna, and I'm listening to you right here, right? Is it okay? Can you see my screen? Yes, all right,
Yes.
thank you. I'll be stopping, and it's not just the presentation all through. I'll be kind of stopping, sharing so that you see my face. If you want to see my face, I'm on Instagram, but just in case, yes, I'll be stopping from time to time, okay? The most important thing about this is to tell you that you will be seeing all these websites around. It's all me. You know, well, I'm sorry, I'm a Gemini, so there are so many things I can do. The idea is that Anna's workshops is the main, is my second child, because I have one who is 24 already. And the idea here is that we are going to be working on Anna's workshops as the main, yes, website where we are going to be feeling that this is everything I need. Why? Because today we'll be dealing with teaching, but there might be a moment in which you need, oh, I need to study more, I need to prepare for an exam, I need to have something connected to another language, could be Portuguese, I don't know, or something different. So Anna's workshops is like the mainstream there. From there, we have Infocal by Anna's workshops, which is the one we have the institute here in Maldonado, which has a broad range of courses, yes, from receptionist to cooking, yes, there are plenty of things we have here, and even we have cooking in English too, mind you. And then we have teacher training, yes, that is specifically why we are here today, okay? The same, we have capacitación docente, which in this case we have courses in technology for teachers, okay? Here, next week, we're having a couple of workshops that are for free, like today here. They're for technology. And then Teachers Lighthouse, which I'll be showing you later. And today you get a present from Teachers Lighthouse, because I'll be sending all of you, and the ones who are on Instagram there, if you send me a message, I'll be sending you a present from Teachers Lighthouse, which is our website for resources. Yes, we do have that.
To be able to practice
Of
language.
course, yes, and no, this is resources for teaching that you can use in the classroom. So
Like
there are plenty there for you. That's it. Okay, so I'll be showing you anyway, right? So this of community is the main core. This is our main objective today, okay? Because we want really teachers. I've told you before. I've noticed that probably it's not so common in some areas to have the teachers connected. No, that we are like we ask each other, or you feel no, you just work at your own institute or you work at your own school, and that is not good. I've been working this way for many years, and I really can tell that it's much better to work in teams, and that to feel connected, that you know, you may ask the institute next door, hey, how are you doing with this or that? Which material you're working?
Noticed that a lot of teachers think this asking for advice is a trouble because you are not prepared for teach.
Well, that is a big issue. I don't know, you haven't heard here. Belen, she's saying that many teachers believe, yes, that if you ask for advice, it's a problem or it's not good. And it is true. Most people think that you start working in an institute, you start working at a school, and you need to know everything. And that is not the way. I mean, it's just the opposite. It is where you learn the most. So the idea of this community is to move a little bit. I'm not leaving aside. I'm a professor. I mean, I'm a certified professor, and all the theory that we need to offer you, we do have it, and we're going to, because in many cases it's necessary. But what is the most important is the experience, pragmatics, that you know how to put it into practice at school. I mean, that you know what to do, when to do it, how to do it. There's so many things that you probably just go to Pinterest, or you go now to TikTok, and there are so many things that it's much easier just to ask a friend, a colleague, or someone in the group. So this idea of community, it is essential. I mean, under my point of view, yes, on what is teaching and having teams, well prepared teams, and to have people that really know what to do. No, it's not necessary that you know everything. And so in some cases this comes from a little bit of context because I've been a teacher for 32 years now, and I've been in different moments, yes, of the teacher training where it was like the English teacher was something very far away, or was so difficult, or they wouldn't speak Spanish to the students, or there are so many things like that. Wait a second, I'm going to stop sharing so I can see faces there. It was like, I mean, you were the English teacher, and this English teacher never spoke Spanish at all. So that is the distance there. Or there was that all the conferences or material that was everything was theory. It was so hard to understand.
That's why when I was a kid, I don't know, 8 years old,
Yeah.
I hated
You hated English. Well, that also happens when actual teaching. At an institute, what happens if you're teaching the way you learned? That is something else, no? That because that is the only model that you had. So in that sense, also this idea of having a net to have people connected is this, that, hey, Anna, I have this problem. I don't know how to teach this. And apart from that, many of the books, many of the things or the courses that we are that we have the possibility to get to are so far detached from reality, from the country, from the place, from the city. So there are so many things that you really need to ask. Hey, well, okay, theory is fantastic. What is it that I can do? I mean, I don't know what to do with these kids, and we have no resources, and what is it that it could be done? So in this, the idea of our teacher training program has to do with that mostly, because for profesorados you have profesorados, but this is the part that you need to know that you don't learn the profesorado, and in most cases, I'm not going to replace one or the other. Please, I'm not saying that, just the opposite. But you need all that goes actually into the real teaching that you have, right? So this is the idea of our community here. Let's share again. Good. So I have plenty of slides today, so the main target is this, okay? We need to have teacher training, yes, in modern education, right? It is important, and it is our main target. Although we're not going to do a profesorado, as I said before, we need to know there are plenty of things that we need to understand, and that we need to get to know, because sometimes it is that you just learned English, you got to a B2 level, and you were taken by an institute, you have a good English, come and teach English. Or the other way around, you know a little bit, and say, okay, this is a good possibility, you got the job, and that's it. Okay, so, well, it's good that you got the job. Now you need to improve, and you need to know how to, right? We are going to work on some teacher training foundations. It's not that we are not. In fact, I'm going to tell you now which is the workshop we will be dealing with that, because you need to know what are the approaches, because that is, we have the course that is finishing now next in a couple of weeks of Auxiliar en Aula de Idiomas, and the final project has to do with preparing a lesson plan where you have to put there into practice everything that you've learned. If you don't know any of the theories, if you don't know about the approaches, it is impossible that you take decisions, that you make a decision. You need to know it in order to be able to choose, right? Then other things that we will be dealing in this part of the theory, I'm starting with the most serious part, let's say, okay? But then we have many others. The roles of the teacher, okay, having to do with it. I care a lot about this part of emotional and social support, okay? We need to work a lot on that, because nowadays it is the most important. It's not that you just go and teach English and that's all. There's so many things that you need to know. And you need to pay attention to also. It's not only that you probably but sometimes you have 25 kids and in the classroom, and you cannot pay attention to everything, but you need to, yes, get trained to do it, because it's important, right? I don't know why it's so close here. There we go. Well, and of course, the benefits, if you're well-trained educators, the benefit is not only to the students who are learning, it's also to the institution, but mostly to yourselves, okay? And this is where I aim at, okay? I want you to feel motivated, you feel that you can do it, that you want to learn more, that I'm doing great, because probably some things that we will be doing here, you will be, I do that. Well, that is important. I mean, it's not, you don't have to take it as, I already know it is not important. No, just the opposite, to say, I'm doing great in my class, so I keep on working on that path, that way, right? So that is mostly the idea, right? Well, of course, that there are plenty of challenges that you face every day, right? If you're not well qualified, or that you feel, that teaching is dynamic. Okay, it changes. If you've started as I did I started teaching when I was 19. I'm 51 today. So imagine I've been, no, it's okay, I can say it, no problem. So the kids I had when I started, yes, I mean, I'm saying 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds are not the same the ones we have today. Definitely not. So this is something that it is dynamic and we need to be updated, okay? So there are plenty of things that we need to pay attention to. So for all that, yes, we have this course that is called Auxiliar en Aula de Idiomas, yes, that some of the people here are finishing now in August, but we're starting on 15th August, we're starting a new one, okay, till November. Then I can say, I'll be doing this. I'll be giving you some tips and things. I'm providing you with some of the training that we have prepared for you. Okay, this is a course that has to do, we cannot say profesorado, of course, because profesorado is profesorado, at least in Argentina. Here you have it probably in some institutions, many, yes. But so those are the ones who prepare, but there are plenty of teachers who do not do that and they're still teaching, and probably they're very good, they're excellent. But well, the idea here, we are addressing to people who are teaching, yes, but we're not providing a teaching degree. Yes, it is just giving you a whole formation on that, right? Good. And then we have another workshop there, which is brand new, and we call it Especialización para Profesores de Idiomas. Yes, that in that case, we can have people that could not only English, yes, could be also Portuguese or French, any other teachers could also join us there, which are pedagogical foundations on teaching English as a foreign language. But if you teach another language, could be there. This is the only one that has the most theory, let's say, right? Because we need to have you standardized on the approaches, that you know what we're talking about when we speak about one approach or the other, right? So far, so good. Are we okay? Questions? No? Are we okay?
You have a flyer about 60 hours.
I have everything. Yes, don't worry. I'll be having you on. I'll be having a lista de difusión or a WhatsApp group where we can share all this information. I can be sharing all with you, so don't worry about that, right? Okay, being a teacher, this is why you're here today on a Friday night, Friday evening, right? I promise, okay, I'll respect the time and everything, right? But I go a little bit, let's say, fast, because the idea is this, that we browse the ideas and we go through it, okay? Quickly, because there are plenty of things that you might know, but I want you to just focus. This is important, this is important, this is important, right? So, what is being a teacher? Okay, there are plenty of things, then you can read those, and we can discuss for hours about what being a good teacher is, right? If you're an entertainer, if you do this, if you do that, okay, there are so many things that we can say about being a great teacher, being an excellent teacher, right? But the thing is that we need to analyze ourselves first and see our own practice and decide, okay, what is it needs to be improved, okay, in order to be a good teacher. I taken some things that are important. Let me hear, some of the girls know this. Let me stop sharing for a second, because we need to, I don't know why here, let's see, because for YouTube, you see, I need to stop this. Just a second, I'll be sharing in a second. Okay, doesn't let me omit. There we go. I'm sharing again. Sorry about this, but the thing is, if not, YouTube doesn't let me continue there, okay? Do you see it already? Yes? Good. Thank you for those nodding there. It's important. Thank you. Right. So here we go.
So, you are interested in teaching at Harlem Village Academies, Mr.
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah, I know who you are. I'm just not sure why you're here.
Well, a friend of mine, Steven Spielberg, told me to look onto Harlem Village Academy website, and I was blown away by it, particularly the bit that's...
Wait, I need to take this for a second. You tell me if you listen to me there. Do you listen to me? Yes? Yes? Okay. Because if not, here people can listen to.
So, you are
Sigue con los headphones. Wait a second. Just a second. I'll do. Okay, fantastic. Wait a second. We are having.
For me.
Wait for her. Wait for her. Doesn't let. I'm listening to it here. You see. Are you getting into Zoom?
2 minutes. Yes.
Yes, there. Fantastic. You rock it. You rock it.
Don't have.
It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. They don't listen to it. No, it's okay. I'll share again here. Okay.
interested in teaching at Harlem Village
There.
Academies, Mr.
Thank you.
Hugh Jackman.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, I know who you are. I'm just not sure why you're here.
Well, a friend of mine, Steven Spielberg, told me to look onto Harlem Village Academy website, and I was blown away by it, particularly the bit that said superstars are teachers.
It's the other way around, actually.
Right, and I just knew right then I had to audition.
Interview.
Here is my headshot.
Oh.
Headshots, I should say. Turn over, you're going to see 4 different.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there's quite a range there, obviously.
You can do a Russian dialect.
Absolutely.
Neat.
Yes. Why don't we get started with a monologue?
The monologue.
MMA does. It's pretty powerful. Look, donkey. It's never gonna work. Do you understand me? I'm a big, green, giant ogre, and she's a princess.
This is from Shrek?
I can do something musical if you like. I got a song for you.
There's a song.
I see you driving around town with a girl I love, and I'm
Mr.
like,
Jackman?
yeah. Please call me Hugh.
Here's the thing. Harlem Village Academies, we are trying to develop the
Superstars.
very best teachers.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you have any background in education.
Of course, I worked at a school for 3 years.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. Please tell me about that.
Well, I worked at a school upstate with very, very gifted students. You might call them mutants.
Oh, no.
In fact, the headmaster there, Professor Xavier.
This is the school from the X-Men movies.
Yes.
Yes.
Listen, before I get the job, can I just ask you a question? Is the school zipline accessible?
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah.
We've already filled the position.
You've already cast the part? Did Neil Patrick Harris get this job? That little blonde twerp, please, you did not give it to him.
No.
Because trust me, there is no way he could hold down a class of 25. Literally, because I understand at times you need to literally hold them down, right? And he doesn't have the muscle. You want to see muscle? Can Neil Patrick Harris do this? Look at this. 101, 102. I'm starting at 100 because I already did a bunch this morning. 3, 104. You can put your foot on my back if you like. I can still do them.
This interview is over.
5,096. 5,000. Let's keep ahead. That's all right. I'll still be doing it when you come back.
Hi, I'm Deborah Kenny, founder of Harlem Village Academies. If you want to join our team of superstars, or to learn more about how every child can have a superstar teacher, visit us at harlemvillageacademies.org.
Hugh, you can stop now.
Okay. So this is Hugh. This is what he thinks. Okay, is important to be a great teacher. Do you agree with him?
No.
With you,
Skills, but no.
with that teacher, we can say yes anyway. or not. No, they're allowing, yes, Huey to go. But probably we do not need those superpowers. No, we need other kind of superpowers. That of course those he presented, yes, having a little bit of this of having stand up or that you can speak or you have make an accent. I would take them. I would take them. Yeah, I would consider them important. Yes, for being an English teacher, at least at Anna's workshops. Okay, that would suit. But the thing is that here that I've thought of others. Okay, that probably you do and that you will find in your own practice, okay, that you need to be organized, okay, organization is important, and sometimes it's not that you are not organized because you don't know how to, but because it's just because you don't know, you do not know, you still don't know what are the priorities of the institution. Probably you don't have a headmistress or a headmaster who's with you all the time telling you now you need this, you need that, and this is our priority, this is our objective. It's just okay, can you make it from 2 to 4? Okay, all yours. And you go and you get into the classroom. So that those things are not good, yes, for your organization, because you cannot organize something that you don't know, right? So this is important, that you need to know what is it that you will be in need whenever you enter an institution. And whenever you are teaching for yourself, you're a freelance teacher also. I mean, what is it that I need? Okay, I need to know this and that. What is my aim? I will prepare for exams. I will be doing just some school support or whatever. Well, you need to get organized within those limits, right? Humor, of course, for me is essential, okay, to have a good sense of humor. Creativity, yes, you need to be creative. I know that is not something that sometimes is that you all not feel creative. Okay, so no, I'm very bad. I don't know how. Well, that you can learn. Yes, not necessarily that you need to be born creative in order to have a creative lesson, right? Simplicity, okay, you don't need to make it so complicated, so hard. Make it simple and it will work, okay? Sometimes we try to make it so pompous or make it so complicated. No, take it easy, take it easy. Do not get complicated. Try to having the objective clear. Many things will suit much better, right? And self-confidence, which is something that you cannot get it if you don't have the tools, okay? And this is the idea of these workshops, that you feel more self-confident, that you know that whatever you decide to take into the classroom is correct, okay? Or at least that you will be trying it, okay? And you know that it is you're doing something correct, okay? That you're not doing something that is out of the level or out of the range of age and things like that, okay?
Everything has to have a why.
You need, everything has a reason. There is always a why, but you need to know the why. Okay, because sometimes you may have a teacher, a director who tells you, oh, why are you doing the, I don't know if they ask why, probably they say no directly. But if you know why you've chosen the activity, because you know the students, because you know what is it that you want to do, okay, you may say, you may like, I'm sorry, yes, I accept your no, but I can tell you that I decided to use this activity because blah, 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 blah,
We
blah,
are
blah.
university.
That's
We
it.
are working with the
I've been working on this. This is part of the interest. Okay, so there are some things that I mean, you may when you feel self-confident, things are you have higher percentage of being successful, and that is most important. Good teachers find a balance between predictable safety and unexpected variety. Okay, because sometimes I mean, you are not working with boxes. Okay, you work with kids, with teens, with adults, with people. Yes, so in the end, there are many things that happen that sometimes you cannot plan it. All right, so the more you know, the easier will be for you to handle different situations. Right, so the predictable safety, it is okay. I want to teach this. The problem is that there might be some variations here, but no worries, because you as a teacher, you always need to have a plan A, B, C, D, Z.
options.
Options, okay? Plenty.
Middle one is, I don't know, if you are stomach or something like that, you have to change.
You have to change everything, and knowing that probably you're changing the way, but not the objective. That is important. Or if you need to move the objective, probably you need to know how to suit it. Yes, and you cannot do it yet. Okay, good. I want to highlight here something important that has to do with emotions, okay? Because emotions are things that sometimes we just pay attention to the kids, okay? They need to be this, they need to be that, they need to be autonomous, but we forget about ourselves, right? So I would like, as a director, I would like to see you smiling in the class, okay? I would like to see you enjoying the class, okay? I know. There are some cases in which it's not that easy, okay? But we have to find a way. Yes, we have to find a way. There must be something that you have to take it as a challenge, okay? Whenever you have a group that is, yes, it's important. Then you need to be curious, okay? Not only about learning, but also about them. You need to ask, how are you feeling? What is going on? Okay, you need to be asking things. Well, this being here today is being curious, okay? You want to learn more about your job, about your task. What else can I do? And that is a question that you should never stop having, please. You need to be nice and you need to be strict at the same time, okay? There are some things that has to do, then we will develop that later in another workshop, in which you have to be nice because it's important, because sometimes it's not something that you don't find all the teachers feeling great about being in a classroom, yes? And sometimes they are not nice to kids, and that is not good, okay? Because you are not transmitting. Emotions are the most important in this case, because if you do not transmit good emotion, good vibes, let's say, then the rest of the things that you do will not go correctly. They won't flow, right? So it is important that you are nice, but you need to be strict at the same time because you are the leader. Okay, so, and that has to do later, we will see, with being coherent. Okay, if you say no today, we have to be no in December, and that is something to pay attention to. You may be, but at the same time, you need to be flexible because probably things have changed. So there's something that is beautiful. Don't tell me that being a teacher is not beautiful. Uh, being active, okay? Being active is important, okay? Whenever you have people, teachers, and when I say people, it's teachers, okay? Just they enter the class, they leave all the books there on the desk, and they page 5, page 6, and that's all.
1, 2, 3, or 4.
Oh,
Yes.
yes, and they do something else, and so no, be active, okay? Let's do even if we're speaking about, it's not only for young learners, we're speaking about all levels, all ages. Even though you're preparing for proficiency, you need to be active. You need to be on alert all the time. That is essential. Hello, Nai. They're saying hello, teacher. My students, my little students, they're saying hello on Instagram. So I'm sorry, I'm taking a minute for that. If not, then no, you didn't say hello to me. They say so. Hello, Nayara. Be patient, okay? You need to be patient, okay? Because sometimes we don't know what is going on at home, what has happened in the previous lesson, okay? We do not have to take the students as isolated items in our lesson, okay? It's important to be patient, to be a good listener, okay? And an observer. Be passionate is something that I really, I think it is my must. Yes, if you're passionate, everything is easier, okay? Because if you really love what you do, if you really feel that this is the way, this is what I want to do, everything will be magic, because you will feel that it flows, and the satisfaction when they get to do something, it is completely different.
Is your birthday in June?
No, in May. In May. Be knowledgeable. This is the last but not least, is the most important, okay? Be knowledgeable. It is important. If you want to teach something, you must be you must be sure that you know what you're going to teach, right? It is important.
That's why when you plan a lesson, you have to revise your knowledge.
You have to revise your knowledge. You have to
about
see
the vocabulary.
Yes, always in our workshops, I always say that we need to be at least +1, meaning one level up your students you're teaching to, okay? At least I'm saying, it's not I'm saying you have to only, at least in order to feel a bit more relaxed, but you need to be studying all the time, right? So these are some comments I want to highlight here for you. You have to teach the way they learn, yes. You have to give steps easy to be followed. Don't make it complicated. Instructions should be clear. You have to encourage all the time. You have to praise all the time. You have to recognize publicly. Yes, you say, oh, you did so well. You're the best student ever. You're the best group ever. My students always say, yeah, I say, this is the best group ever. I say, you say that's just all the groups. Yes, I do. Okay, so they're the best students, the best group. But well, you have to be all the time. Find if updated effective behavioral skills. We have to pay attention to that. We'll be dealing with that later, okay? And keep high expectations, all right? Always go for more. This is important, okay? That you really feel that your students can always do more, and they can, you know? If you don't trust them, okay, it is impossible that they trust themselves, right? This I'm going to share it with you. I don't want to take long because if not, I won't make it. Okay, then I share it with you. Okay, this has to do with being knowledgeable. It's a bit of comedy there. I don't want to take some time in, because it is a bit long. But then I send it to the group I'm going to make, yes, so that you have a look at it and it is that she doesn't know how to sing the ABCs. Okay, and she says ABC. Yeah, and she cannot finish it. Then I show it to you, okay? So being knowledgeable, you have to know the subject matter. What you're going to teach, you need to know it. You cannot leave it open to what the book says, what the teacher's book say, okay? You need to know it yourself. So this is important that you keep working on your English, yes, your level, right? So there we go again. Now, I'm going to start having now this in this section. This is why I want to finish on time. So I want to go a little bit here. I'm going to give you, yes, like a part. Let me stop sharing so people there see me a little bit. I'm going to give you now a couple of tips, okay, for some specific things that lead to a different workshop, okay? So then don't worry about that. I'll be sending you information later. I'll be sending you dates and things like that. But the idea is that I want to show you that all the things I'm telling you today are part of your everyday lesson plan, everyday yes activity, right? So did you know here any acronyms? Did you know that acronyms are the most important? Hello, Pia there. The acronyms, any acronyms that we use every day? Do you know any? I'm going to share again with you, Any acronyms? If I say, I'll do it ASAP, what is ASAP? What does it mean? As soon as possible. Bien, Jaime, yes, you know it, okay, as soon as possible. So there are plenty. I'm not going to start. Don't worry, okay? I'll be just showing them to you. But look at those, yes? Bilingual education, computer-assisted language learning. There are so many, yes? EAP, English for academic purposes, English as a foreign language, okay? And I can continue. Yes, English language learner, English language training and teaching, okay? ESP, English for specific purposes, okay? Then I'll tell you about that. Remind me, it's not on the presentation, but if you are interested, you just let me know and I tell you something about that. International English language testing sim, IELTS, yes, there. L1 is the first language. So there are plenty of acronyms, okay? That these are acronyms connected to teaching, okay, only to our role. So there are plenty others, okay, that we can find. There are plenty that we can be using, yes, as activities, okay. So for example, you may have an activity in which you have to find the meanings, right? And you have, for example, there you have these, yes, yeah. This, and this. So which are the one? The first one is, I cannot pronounce it because I'm on YouTube and they are not seeing, okay? So FAQ, meaning
Frequently asked questions.
Perfect, Marcelo. Frequently asked questions. Okay. In fact, plenty of those are not even used anymore as the whole phrase. You only have, yes, the acronym. What about the second one? No.
Education.
Yeah, physical education, right? Physical education. Well, the sports there, yes, trying to be there, the physical education. What about the third one? I'm all ears.
For your information.
For your information, right? For your information there. ID, well, that we use it from the very beginning. Yes, yes, identification. What about LOL there? Yes, I mean, go.
Laughing out loud.
Yes, laughing out loud, right? And the last one? Military police, right? So there we have many, yeah, there we can be using as acronyms. We can invent plenty of activities that have to do with just with that. And probably you don't see it in in a book. So, but it is an activity that could take the whole time for them to be analyzing, researching, looking for information, working with the actual authentic material. So, and you see that you will, it is not common that you use it in a textbook, okay? And you can get different activities out of that. Of course, according to the level, according to the age, there's so many things that we have to pay attention to, right? This is the website you're having a present today, yes, from Teachers Lighthouse, that you are going to have a material connected to this kind of activities, PDF, that you will be able to use in the classroom. Yes, I'll be sending you after we finish today, right? And then the workshop that puts together all these ideas is the one that is called Games and Ideas for Creative Activities. And here is what I was telling you before, that probably you feel that you're not creative, right? But if you have the correct training, you may feel that it's easier to be creative in a way, okay? You get all the hints, all the ideas in order to use your ideas into a game, yes, or your ideas into activities that are creative, that are fun, that are lighthearted in a way, but you have a teaching aim which is quite clear, right? Any questions so far? Shall I continue? Are we okay? Good. Good. This is important. This is connected, okay, to the first part that has to do with pedagogical, but I wanted to move it out of that. CEFR, you all know what it is. Yes, I hope. If you don't,
Common European Framework for Languages.
Perfect, Marcelo. That is a common European framework of reference for languages. It's not only for English, it's for all languages. We may have an A1 in Chinese, you may have an A2 in Portuguese, okay? All levels, yes, they're all levels connected. It is specifically for languages, right? Why is it important to know? Because in general, you work at different institutions, and each institution will provide a fantasy name, yes, to the group, to the levels. So you may be working at children 1, junior 4, a senior 14, okay, whatever, or Blue Stars 4. There are so many things can be used, yes, in different institutions, but the real thing is that each student corresponds to each one of these levels, okay? And sometimes it is important, I mean, you need to know the levels, what is an A1, what is an A2, what is a B1, what is a B2, a C1 and C2, of course, but you need to know it because if not, it's impossible for you to look for material. Yes, I am here. I'm going to stop sharing again because I need to see you again. It is important, yes, that you know the differences between the levels, because if not, I understand that you stick to the book, right? So you have the book Blue Star 4, and well, you have to use this book all day here, and you're not using for any other resources, you're not looking for videos, you're not looking for anything else out of the textbook. You can, Most people do that, okay? But it's not necessarily what makes your teaching, yes, the most attractive, the most meaningful, yes? So I would say that you always have to be thinking of using the textbook. I'm not telling you not to do what the school says, please. I'm not saying that, but I'm trying to show you that there are plenty of things that should be done for you to feel better, and I mean that you're okay being a teacher, that what you're doing is okay, and for your students to feel motivated. Okay, it's a two-way motivation. Yes, it's yours and your students. So, but for that, I go back to the idea of being knowledgeable. You need to know, okay? So if you know what is it that you need to know? You need to know about levels, right? So, for example, at Anna's workshops, we are not using any fantasy names. We just say A2 teens or A2 adults, but we are not using any fantasy names. So if we have a placement test, you reach an A2 or a B1, and then you go to the group of B1. Okay, it is just like that. We are not having of course we have A2 plus, B1 plus, B2 plus. We have all the in-betweens, let's say, but we are not having any fantasy name that has, you have junior 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and probably it is just 2 levels. You have to think that having a normal amount of periods, of hours, okay, more or less, it is said that you should be having like 2 years per level, more or less, okay? So in that case, we are having some problems with some institutions who provide like 4 years for a level, and that is something I'm not going to mention, but well, that is not correct, okay? Academically speaking, I'm saying. So we have to think of that. Here we have, if you don't know what, you also need to have knowledge of your own level, right? You need to know where you are. I'm always be telling you, please certify, please do something, do a Cambridge exam, do a IELTS, do whatever, oh yeah, whatever you want. We at Janus, we have everything. You just ask me, okay? But you need to be certified, because it's not the same when you go to a place and say, ah, yes, I'm an A2. Okay, as a teacher, I'm not, okay, A2 is not that, it's not enough, okay? But you say, you have the placement test and you go for, you see what's your level, and if you can certify that nowadays is much easier for teachers to do it, okay? Please do, okay? Anywhere, not necessarily at Anas, but please try to have a certification that tells, okay, you are this level, right? If you don't know yours, you just let me know. If not, I can just put it in the group where I'm going to make later, okay? So that you can try it. I tell you your level, and you know more or less where you are, or that you could have sat for, I know, B2 like 10 years ago, and you want to know where you are now at this moment, okay? If you are at same level, awesome. If you're a little bit below, well, you can catch up, okay? Another thing that is important and that you have to remember is those who work for young learners, okay? You need to know that they also belong to this, yes, scale, right? So I'm here, I'm using some levels that have to do with Cambridge, okay? Because we work with Cambridge exams. So starters would be a pre-A1, okay? Movers, it is an A1, and flyers is an A2, right? So if you know, yes, what they are, more or less, you need to understand that what is it that is learned, what is it that is taught at every level, right? This is mega summary. It is just to show you, okay? Then we're going to work more on this if you feel like, okay? I want to go back a little bit on this idea, because here you see simple present, for example, in A1. Remember, and this is important to understand, that A1 here, yes, you're going to see simple present in A1, you move forward, okay, and then in A2, you're going to see simple present again, plus, yes, and then you're going to go to B1 and you see be present again, and then you go to B2 and you see simple present again, and then you go to C1. Yes, that is important for you to understand. Why? Because you get a student, for example, if you are a freelance teacher and you have a student and they tell you, okay, what's your level? I saw up to present, simple present. I know present simple, present continuous. Sí, bueno, pero you can see present simple, present continuous from C1 if you want, let's say, right? So it could be like that. So it's important that you know more or less what are the main issues from grammar, at least, which is easiest to check for each of the levels. If you say A1 simple present, comparative, simple past, possessive, there is, there are, that is for A1. In A2, all the ones from A1 plus, yes, A2 articles, future, basic, modals, past continuous, present perfect, first conditional. Check that flyers, yes, Cambridge Flyers young learners, they should be knowing present perfect and first conditional by the end of the level. Okay, sometimes they have flyers. No, yes, they do. Okay, it's important. Then you have, well, B1, of course, A1, A2 plus, all conditionals, modals, all past tenses, present perfect, simple passive, reported speech. Okay. And then B2, you have everything that from before, plus past, mixed conditionals, complex modals, reported speech, all wish, okay? And there you make it more complex. That is something that at least you have this idea, this band, you should have it, okay? Because it's important for you not only to find book and extra material, but also to know if your student knows more, it is not in the correct level, because it may happen. Probably with young learners, it's when it is what it is, okay? They are 9 and they know a lot, and you cannot change it from to another group. But for teens and for adults, you may have a difference there, right? So it is important that you know. Yes? Any questions about that? No? Are we okay? Good. For those, we have these 2 workshops, okay? Power Prep, which is preparing your students for exams, any exams, not only Cambridge, okay? Any exam, because sometimes when you work with a course book only, yes, it is okay, we just move forward and that's all. But preparing for exams has a training, specific training and things that you have to pay attention to. And then grammar without drama, yes, it is how to teach grammar and how to learn grammar, yes, without feeling bad about it, right? So those are two workshops that will be helpful with that, okay? Good. Are we okay? Yes? Awesome. Fantastic. Good. Are we okay here? Yes. Good. Skills, okay? You know the skills. We're not going to get into sub skills, okay? Just very broad, yes, today here, because you need to know them whenever you plan, whenever you have material to be working on, okay? So let's start by reading, right? With reading here, we have, of course, with very young learners, you may be using flashcards, okay? Because they're very young learners. Remember that the very young learners are up to 6. And then the young learners, 7 to 12, okay? So it is a broad range there. Then the teens, you have to read and tweet, to read and post, okay? They're depending on the social media that you're allowed to be using, if you are. If not, you can invent one in the classroom, then we can see that. And then you have some role playing for adults, okay? I brought today an idea, yes, for you that is just like a trigger. So from here you may find different kinds of activities connected to that. Anyway, we will see it in the workshop. For example, provide a situation. It says, if you find a backpack on a bench in the park, okay? So you can bring a bag if you want there, okay? What do you think is inside? So you make a list. What is it inside? You may bring your own and say, what's inside? They can write on the board, okay? You can say, okay, what could it be and why? He or she has an old photo that says there, or a sandwich, or what is a sandwich, and what time is it? There are so many things that you can be making them, yes, to speak. This is the warm up, okay? So remember that skills cannot be used separately. Yes, you always need to make them interact, right? So the warm up could be a speaking, okay? And then you find, you put on board, yes, or on screen as you wish, something that is the reading part, okay? You provide the text, okay? So today I found a strange backpack in the park. It was red and a little dirty. Inside I saw a small book, a pair of sunglasses, a map of London, an old photo of a dog, and a ticket for a concert from 2019. Who's the owner? Why did they leave it here? I don't know, but I will wait one more day. Maybe they will come back. What activities you imagine you may do out of that? Whatever. Okay? Anything that involves, yes, understanding, yes, this text could be anything. Okay? So we could have, I don't know, that they draw it, depending on the age, that they write a letter to the owner explaining where it is, that they decide to change the elements of the backpack and put others. Okay, so there are so many things that you can do just with that text, and but the idea is that the reading is involved there in the understanding, yes, of that text. Of course, this is an A1 level, right? It's no more than that. But the idea is that just with a text that is not even 50 words, you may invent a whole pack of activities, right? So that is also reading. That is also reading. And we need to train them from very little, because then when they reach B2, for example, that they have to read 2 pages and they are not used to be reading text quickly and perform something, could even with that text, you could also do, for example, true, false. True, false. You can answer questions. You can correct sentences. There are so many things that you can do. It's not important. It is important what they do, but it's not that important. The most important is that you pay attention to the reading part, that they have the rhythm, the habits, the routine to read and understand. It's not just reading for the sake of reading for understanding. Okay, then we go for sub skills and we try to make it a little bit more, a little bit clearer. But the thing is that you need to be, you must make sure that they do understand what they read, okay? From the very, very beginning. With very young learners, this is a cat. They need to understand and they need to read, this is a cat. And trust me that whenever they reach B2, they will understand and they will read faster, right? Okay, any questions there with reading? Are we okay? No? Okay, let's go for listening now. Listening, of course, very young learners, songs. And there's nothing I love the most than songs, but I will tell you that I use songs for all the levels, right? For young learners could be a listen and color, yes, typical from the Cambridge exams, yes, where they have to, or they draw lines, yes,
Part of
this,
the body.
yes.
My hands are red,
Mhm.
my feet are.
And they have to color what they listen, yes? What we have to teach them, if going back to the one of Power Prep, yes, in which you need to be training for exams, okay? What you need to do is to have some tricks. Don't make it direct, okay? If you say, I love red shoes, but today I'm wearing, of course, depending on the level, no? But today I'm wearing green ones, because once, again, I know I've said this before, I'm not repeating myself, because my reason is when they reach, yes, a Cambridge exam, they will be looking for the trick there, and that will be easier, because if not, they can, but I understood red, and they said red, and they start coloring. No. Be careful, wait, listen again. Yes, so that is important, right? Well, teens, charades. Yes, you know what charades are. Nowadays, you have plenty of games that even you have with a cell phone that you can play. Yes, or if you don't have that possibility, just sticking a paper on a forehead is more than enough to play.
It's the Kahoot.
Kahoot also, yes, there's some accounts from Kahoot now have to be paid, but well, there are plenty that still are for free. But if you don't have the possibility to have a screen in the classroom or something, just with a paper and forehead, you have charades there to play. for hours, okay? Of course, we will be dealing with Kahoot, with all those websites, but we are addressing to all kinds of contexts, let's say, right? Here, for example, going back to the back, I will be sharing the next video. I also will be sharing in the group, okay? But for example, what's in my bag? I could do the same here. I can also bring my bag similar to the one of the backpack that I found, yes, in the park, okay? But in this case, we have a video. Yes, there are plenty of video from the BBC that I have from Vogue. Yes, that they tell us what they have in their bags. Okay, and in this case, it's Emma Watson. Okay, so she speaks what she has in the bag. I will share it with you. Okay, so that we make it faster. But they have to watch the video and check. So they all know Emma Watson. Okay, what do you think she has in her bag? This is her bag, okay? And what has she got in it, okay? And they make assumptions and they write or they discuss or you make a list. And then you listen. Of course, you have to, you need to check that this level, it is B1. No less, because this is authentic material, right? It's not for very young learners. But anyway, teenagers B1, B2 would be great, yes, for this activity. And it's quite simple. It is as simple as looking for the video. This is not a material from resources, just YouTube. This is why you need to know what is the aim of your activity. I want them to find to understand what is in the bag. Okay, I need to find that they understand the listening. Whatever, any video is useful, any. It is you who turns any kind of video, yes, into a motivating activity. Clear? Yes?
What would be the aim of a lesson? That they understand the listening.
Yeah, could be, it depends. Here, for example, I would use this just for listening comprehension for vocabulary, because she has clothes there, okay, just for understanding. Okay, it wouldn't be the whole purpose, it's just one activity from the whole unit, from the whole lesson, okay? Not all of it, okay? In general, it depends on the amount of periods you have. If you work at a bilingual school that you have 5 days a week and that you can take a whole afternoon for that, awesome. If you only have 14 minutes per week, send it as a homework and we discuss it next time here, okay? So it depends. You can have the same activity according to the place where you work and the age and blah, blah, blah. And the resources, of course. Okay? Good. So keep it here. And here, workshop for this, plenty of ideas like this, okay, according to different contexts and different ages and different levels. We're having read to lead, okay, reading skills, empowerment for all levels, okay, from very, very young learners to C1 level. And then active ears, active minds, yes, listening skills also, yes, for all levels, same range, okay. The idea is that we give you, as I gave you here, a text, okay, and I tell you, okay, what are the things I can do out of this? Well, let's go here, 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 here. So you have like a menu, let's say, of where to take out of one idea. So it is like a skeleton we will be teaching you, okay? You have a video, what is it that I need to know? Okay, the level, the age, and the aim, right? So and from there, you will be able to create your own material, which is what I'm trying to aim at, okay? Clear? Any questions there on Zoom? No? Are we okay? Good. So let's go for the other two, writing and speaking. For writing, yes, puzzle words. I wanted to show you here that we have some puzzle words, okay? That we have, let's see, do you see them here? They have some cubes, okay, with letters that they can be, here I can show here too, okay? That you can use for different activities. You can have like this, like Boggle. Do you know Boggle? How to play Boggle? The one that you have like square, yes, with many, and you have all the dice there, the dices, and you have to write as many words as possible. Or you can have categories, you have the R, okay, and you go for even the little ones, okay, you can place categories, tutti frutti, and you can play, yes, for a lot, or you can find there are so many things that you can do with cubes. These are from Teachers Lighthouse, les cuento, that you can work with puzzle words, okay, it is very important because it is the way in which they make it, you train them to find vocabulary faster in their minds, okay? So it is a way of working with this. Is you say, oh, come on, writing is just writing sun, sea. Yes, it is important, okay? If you place categories, I always say I'm the champion of tutti frutti. Yes, and my students don't want to play with me because they say that they lose, but it's better because I want them to make a great effort, okay? Because then when they have to think of a verb, they at least they know where to find the word, if they need to find of an object, a fruit, okay? Just like finding the way out of it with vocabulary. And then whenever they reach, I know I said this is the third time I said this, okay? Once they reach B2 writing level, they know they have the training to look for words connected to one context or the other. Okay, so it is sometimes when teachers say, no, I just teach kinder, I just teach young learners up to third grade. Well, this is a moment to start working and providing the grounds for when they sit for a certificate. Let's say it like dramatically, but in a way it is, okay? So sometimes teachers just rely on, no, I don't need to know much because in fact, they're young, there's still time for exams. No, this is the moment in which they start their career into that, okay? Are we okay? Any comments? No? Well, this is the bubble, the one that you have letters, yes. And we have here all these that are almost the same, okay? What we have here is we customize them. I mean, if you want, for example, they come in one color and you can color it according to the teams. When we see games, you can have like teams, or these dice is only for who writes first or who comes to the board first. Or you can have like for teams, okay, which is a team that gets more. Remember that competition is good, not so much, but sometimes it is motivating. Sometimes we will be talking about that later. Then we have nursery rhymes, yes, for young learners and very young learners. Here I will share with you both videos too. But this is important I put like the contrast here. I suppose that all of you who work with very young learners, you know Super Simple Songs. Yes, it is a website. Yes, it is a website too, but it is on YouTube, Super Simple Songs. All the songs that we used to have, the nursery rhymes that we teachers used to sing on our own, or we had the cassette, okay, with the songs. Now they're all animated in Super Simple Songs, okay, they're beautiful. And even you don't need to sing. Please, I want you to sing, okay? Because it's important that you sing together with the students, right? But Super Simple Songs make it much easier for the teacher, and makes much easier for the families too, because I remember having students, very young learners, 3, 4, and I used to teach songs, okay? And before, you know that you have like the book taking I'm going to stop sharing for a second. You have the booklet with all the songs, yes, el cancionero. So you took it home so that the families could sing along. The thing is that once they reach it, okay, some families didn't have it. So it was very difficult for parents to understand 3 or 4-year-olds what song they were singing, because they couldn't understand what they were singing. So now it is much easier because you just send a video of Super Simple Songs and they have all the traditional nursery rhymes, you have everything there. But as a contrast, or I wouldn't say contrast, as a complementary, I included there, yes, the video of Sing, for example. Have you seen the movie there? Yes. Okay. You have, for example, this one, Shake It Off, okay, which is authentic material because you have the song that is not Taylor Swift, no, it's Megan Trainor, yes, and you have it there sung by the character of the movie. So you can have one song that you will be using for teenagers, for example, but you can use it with young learners because it is animated. Clear? Okay. Of course, according to the level, according to the age, according to everything. Right? But what I'm trying to say here is when I say we use songs, not necessarily for all young learners, we're going to use super simple songs. This is what I'm saying. Okay? Clear? Are we okay with that? Let's see here. Okay. Here we go. Wait a second. No. Here. Okay. This is another kind of activity. We used to have, well, now we have again, we used to have photography, yes, at the Institute as a subject of English, okay? And we used to use it, or we use it a lot for writing and for speaking, both. In this case, I write here that is multi-level activity, that is a multi-skilled activity too. You can use it for speaking, you can use it for writing, okay? You can use it for reading and the others, guessing which is the picture that is described. The picture can be description, yes, just description of what you see, or could be a story. Okay, so that what is the story behind this picture, and they write a story. Okay, so you can use it as a writing activity, you can have it as a speaking, if you say what can you see, how do you feel about it, blah blah blah, or that they write and then they put it on the walls, and each of them will be reading the text and trying to guess which is the picture that is being described or spoken about. Okay, so you see that just with the picture, and let me tell you that these pictures were taken by the students, okay, in the class. Okay, so they learned the how to take the photographs, and they took the photographs and we put it on screen. In fact, at that moment we have like a gallery, and everything was exposed there, a show. But we still use photographs from that time, yes, for exams, okay, for speaking reasons, right? So in this case that we're speaking about writing, I can tell you that that activity would suit perfectly well, okay? Of course, not for very young learners, but teens, the A2 upwards, no problem, right? Good. For that, yes, on vocabulary, we have the vocab lab, yes, make vocabulary easy and fun. All these activities, yes, that we have to do with vocabulary, we will be the same with the others that we give you the skeleton and the idea. Also, activities and games and things that have to do to improve vocabulary, right? Are we okay? I speak a lot, I told you. Speaking, okay, let's go for speaking here. We have when a chance, look and answer, role playing, games, okay. For speaking, it is, I believe, that is the most important skill in an English class, okay. I've found, and this is why today we are here, and this is why today we are having all this workshop in English, okay, because what happens to you most of the time is that you get into the classroom and you do not speak English so much, okay, because of the age of the students, or because at the institution you are the only English teacher and the other teachers do not speak English, or just because at school they don't speak English, or they do speak English but you don't feel well. There are plenty of things that make you not use the English in a classroom, and you always have to remember that that is very important. You have to use English as much as possible, right? So one activity here, going back to the workshop here on photography. Tell me more is a good activity that you can use with whatever, okay? You can use it tell me more with pictures. You can use tell me more with a song. Tell me more with with a word on a little paper. So tell me more. It is something that should be done at all ages, all levels. Yes, all like a password. I used to do it as a password to leave. Yes, once I finish the lesson. Okay, you tell me more. Tell me 2 sentences with a word. yellow, yes, and so they go. The sky is not yellow. The sun is the biggest yellow star in the world, in the universe. I don't know, I'm inventing, okay? So it depends on the level too, right? So the tell me more, you can adapt it to whatever you want, okay? Another activity for speaking, traveling time. For example, you can tell them choose where in the past or in the future you are, where in the past or the future you are, and you send an audio telling, yes, the rest of us about it, okay? That is, depends, of course, if you have a WhatsApp group, probably this is not an activity for schools, it's mostly for institutes, okay? Because probably at the institute you do have a WhatsApp group. But I would do it as a guessing game, let's say, no? That the students should be like sending an audio, providing ideas of where he or she is, and we have to guess the time, the place. Of course, should be somewhere famous, no? If not, it's impossible. But they probably you can say that it's somewhere famous, and the rest has to guess, okay? And that is just sending an audio. It is impossible. Nowadays, you don't find a student without a cell phone, and you don't find a student that doesn't know how to send an audio. Okay, so resources are there at hand. Okay, of course, it depends on the politics of the school connected to use the use of the phone. There you have to. In our case, we do use WhatsApp as an extra resource in the classroom. Okay, within lessons and all that. For that, for writing and for speaking, we also have workshops, okay? Writing matters, yes, writing skills empowerment for all levels, and speaking masters, okay? For all levels too, yes, here the idea is that we will be dealing on these kinds of activities and more, because sometimes we need to start like devising plans, yes, of speaking for all levels, yes, to be using properly. The idea is that I have separated them today, yes, to show you different things that you need to know. But all in all, is everything what you do every day, no? Which I'm just like put it apart so that you can highlight each of the parts, right? Then sounds connected to pronunciation, yes. It is very important that we teach it, okay? It is very important that we have it clear for ourselves first, okay? If we know that we have some problems with pronunciation, that we can try to improve it, to find a way how to improve it. And if not, we need to be teaching from the very beginning. Here we have differences in accents, this and that, and think and this, okay? Those sounds that are sometimes difficult. The schwa, yes, in mother, if you have a British accent there, okay? The plosives and ten and pink, okay? All those should be taught, okay? Even though they are very young students, you need to be teaching them. Probably it is the moment there to correct. It is the moment to show them the way. If not, they reach, I know, they are 12 and they say, instead of saying 3, they say 3. And then it is very hard for them to change it, no? To relearn it, okay? Fossilize it, yes, definitely. A bit of humor there, yes. I want to be a schwa. It's never stressed. Do you want to be a schwa too? I don't know. I wouldn't be able to. But bueno, it's never stressed. Remember that. Then there is another video. Yes, here. I'll send it to you, okay? Because if not, this one, yes, I cannot make it because it's from the BBC comedy. You see that all the resources, all the videos I'll be sharing with you today, they are all online, free online on YouTube. It's just to know where to look for, okay? You just write that, you speak English, and you find it, and you make part of your work, okay? Part of your classes. And this is what I try to transmit today, okay? That if you're knowledgeable, if you know where to look for information, you don't need to not even spend a penny on that, okay? You just know where to look for information and you find good material. This is a bit for accents and it's a bit funny, okay? So then you go for it, okay? The workshop for pronunciation, one of them is, then we have the other one that if you have problems with pronunciation, we have a more formal, yes, it has to do with how to improve your pronunciation, okay? But this workshop has to do with the idea of today that goes for activities, okay? Sounds clear, yes, train your own pronunciation knowledge before you teach it, and then put it into practice, that you know how to make your students know how to pronounce by playing, by, yes, having fun. That's the most important. Are we okay? Bueno, this is of the Pink Panther and some others here that we will be working also that have to do with all of them. Yes, it has to do with pronunciation. It has to do with speaking, of course, okay, and a little bit of improving all the skills. Songs that spark learning, yes, how to teach with songs. And sing along, learn a lot, okay? It is when we have karaoke, sometimes it's quite easy because you just play there. No. Yeah, it's not just that, okay? We have activities, we have different ways in which we can be using songs, yes? It's not any song, okay? You have the whole work that you have to do to warm up, to get into it, and then to sing it, because sometimes what happens in general is that you work with a song, you just fill in the gaps, and that's all. And you forget next. No, if you can work it better, they can learn quite fast, and they can feel, of course, that then it will depend on the age, no? But the sing along, we can use it for young learners too. Okay? Are we all right there? Zoom there? Are we okay? Are we okay? I'm going fast, so I don't want to stop for a break or anything. So classroom management, that is something else that you need to be working on, okay? So we have secrets for all levels, we say, but the thing is that sometimes we don't know, even the secrets, we don't know what to do, okay? It says always be in charge. How do you feel identified by the picture there? Always be in charge. Sometimes you feel that you're not. Sometimes it's complicated. But the thing is that you need to have tools, okay? You need to know what to do. Remember at the beginning that we said the safety of things that we have planned, okay? And something that is unexpected, okay? Well, classroom management is one of the issues that we need to be working, okay, a lot, because you need to feel confident. This is the area where you have to feel confident the most, all right? Sitting arrangement, okay, teachers trying to figure out here, can you see the picture? The best sitting arrangement for the sake of everyone's safety and sanity, and teachers itself too, right? Okay, sometimes it is hard. If you sit Pedrito con Juancito, then it's complicated because the other one, so it's a mess, all right? But we, believe it or not, you need to plan it too, okay? And be ready for changes there also. Here's some tips, okay? I always try to tell my teachers is to learn students' names, okay? That is very important. It's not the same to say you have a disruptive student at the back, yes, hey, you, the one with the pink sweater there. No, you have to say, hey, you. You say the name, yes, Juan, stop it, okay? So far, so good. So there is no way in which you can be the leader of the group if you don't know the names, okay, of the students. Here it says, the meme says, don't worry, you will know all your students' names by December. Please do not, okay? Try to know them as soon as possible, because that will give you also power, yes? It empowers you. Part of the classroom management is to know your student's name, of course, the student's need and all that, but the names are mega important, okay? I know that some of you have only 1 or 2 groups, but when you have like 7 or 8 or 9 groups, it's not that easy, but it is like going to the gym. It is just training, okay, to getting to know the student's name, right? This is important to create and keep routines and habits, okay? That helps a lot for classroom management. If you keep the same routine, I'm not saying to make it boring. I'm just saying to keep the same routine. Here I stand here at the front, I say good afternoon, and then I know if you're school you sit down later, you don't sit, or you just start whatever. But I start when I come here to the front, you say good afternoon to me, and then you just sit down and we start working. So just for the beginning, and then well, now first we sit all together. We're going to discuss the news. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do today. You have like a little agenda, so then they know what is it that is going to happen. You work, and then by the end, 5 minutes before the end, you know that they have to clean up, they have to be ready. This will happen no matter what happens in the middle. Those two parts should be working, should be happening all the time. So this of being consistent, this of being coherent from the very beginning. So it is important that you're knowledgeable, that you know what's your aim, okay? Even though you don't know your students, okay, you have a plan. You come here with the idea of, well, this group, I want to aim to this. Okay, so I need to have this routine. Okay, you enter the group, you get to know them. So there you adjust, you say, okay, this will work or this won't. So if it doesn't, if it's not going to work, you adapt it, and then you keep it. Yes, you keep at it until the end of the year. So that will make it easier, yes, for you to handle the group if they know what's happening, okay, what is expected from them, okay? And then listen to your students. Sometimes it is, oh, I'm bored, I'm tired, I'm bored, okay? Sometimes it is not only listening, but also to watch, to observe. If you see that they are not interested in painting, yes, you provide a painting activity and they start to be disruptive, or they don't want to do this or that, bueno, this is an activity that doesn't work, okay? So you have to be on alert with all that, okay? So I will insist with some things that I said at the beginning, okay? When I say that you have to be clear, be simple, yes, it is important, okay, to be clear, to be consistent, okay? If you don't do it today, you can be flexible. There you have also be flexible. But if you do not accept one thing, you do not accept it later either, okay? You have to be happy. It is important that you're happy in the class, okay? I'm not telling you to lie to your students, okay? But you need to have good vibes. You need to show them that you are happy to be there with them, okay? Because that is part of the atmosphere. Sometimes, some days are more difficult than others. I will not say no, okay? But you have to make the effort. You have to have it clear. I need to be with good energy. You have to be here because I want to be teaching you. I want to be your leader. I want to lead you into the learning, okay? So that is important. Be the leader, okay? All that will lead you to be a leader, okay? To be open-minded, listen to different ideas. You may learn a lot from the students, okay? Even about technology and things like that. There's so many things that you can do. Be reliable, and this is important, okay? They need to trust you. If your students do not trust you, it's very difficult to find the way, okay? Because if they think that you are the enemy or that you are someone who is going to fail, that is not going to, I mean, they won't trust you. And if they don't trust you, they won't be open to you, and it's difficult to teach in that sense, okay? So try to be as much as reliable as possible, okay? Be confident that to yourself, okay, being a teacher, okay, it is important that you are confident enough. Be organized, as we said at the beginning, okay? And the most important is to be yourself. And when we say be yourself means we try, sometimes it's not good. It's not that good to be yourself. But the thing is that what I'm trying to say is to be authentic. Okay, if there is something that you don't like, you may tell, oh, okay, let's see, let me tell you, I hate modal verbs, okay, but I need to teach them to you. So let's do it quickly. You understand that, I teach it, and we go to something different, okay? So if you can show yourself, no, we need to learn modal verbs because they are the most, I mean, it's not that you, only if you are like that. Okay, but it is that the most authentic you are, I think it will be easier for them to find the way out of it. Okay. Then we have, then I'll share with you this. When I was telling you before that using material, yes, to look for good material, to be able to know, yes, levels, to know where to look for information, where to look for resources, and all that. I would also recommend you to make your own resources, okay, because that will make it for them much more meaningful. I'm not only telling you to do it on your own, okay, that you do the material, but to make them have the material, okay? Let's see if it works. This short. Okay, so see that you have the cube here, or you can make them do this. Okay, so with that, they will. I can tell you that they will play with those cubes much more, and then you can draw whatever you want there. No, they can do whatever you want to them to do with the cubes, and it's super easy. Not even glue you need. Okay, so when you find things that are done by the students, that is something that is really connected to them, make sure that is going to be much more meaningful, right? Then motivation, I told you before about motivation. It is important, yes, that they feel confident enough, that they trust you. Yes, because that will be motivating, and that will motivate you too. In this case, well, this is just a picture, but I want to show you these were my students, okay? And it was a movie that we were doing. You can find the movie at annasworkshops.com. And it was in 2017. And all these kids, if I tell them they are already grown ups, if they are around there, well, sorry about that. But they were all with Halloween, and they were all dressed up looking Halloween. And we went to the square in the middle of the neighborhood, and we were dancing before the movie. Yes, and they were all dressed up, and so that is motivation. If you have the institute, they're bringing all their costumes, and they face painted, and they learn the choreography and all that. That is motivation. Okay, of course that was also part of the team of teachers. Okay, if the teachers were not like enthusiastic about that, it is impossible that the students do it on their own, right? So motivation is one of the most important. Okay. Then here we have, this is another one that I can share with you. We have a group of adults there that are, that I love them. I send kisses to the girls. They were doing Mamma Mia, part of the movie too, yes. And they were learning the song, they were performing, they did the choreography, they did the video clip, okay, of Mamma Mia. So for them was much more motivating rather than having the filling the gaps, yes, with the song, yes. So that is something is part of a project, but has to do with motivation too, right? So the workshop for that would be craft your class, okay? How without using a book, without using extra material, without buying anything special, you may have beautiful lessons, yes, full of motivation and full of things that they will be memorable for them, because I can tell that if I send messages to those students, the adults or the teens, they will remember that situation, and they will remember what happened and what they experienced, okay? Okay, and the last one here, I promise, okay? New tool for teachers. It is a workshop that I've been working on. I've been teaching new tool for teachers since 2013, I think. So I have to change it every 3 months. Well, at the beginning it was not that much. Now, yes, we are changing it very, very often, because there are tools that you as teachers need to know how to use. You like it or not, okay? I'm not only speaking about how to use a computer, how to use an Excel, a Word, a Drive, a Gmail, all that you need to, okay? But also apps and material that has to do for the teaching, okay? The technology, it is a way not only for yourself, okay, but also to improve your teaching. The students will always learn something different from you concerning technology. That is for sure. But doesn't mean that is the academic part of the technology that they know. So that is your job to teach them the academic part of the teaching of the technology, right? Do you get it? So sometimes they know apps about different things, but you need to know how to use Kahoot. They cannot be teaching you how to use Kahoot, for example. They cannot be teaching you how to share a screen or how to. That technology you need to know. And apart from that, you have to learn how to use some apps, okay, some resources, and of course, the start of the seasons, artificial intelligence, all right? You need, some of you may use it and some of you may not, okay? Probably the ones who are not using AI, it is because you don't know how to. There are plenty of resources on that, but it's good that you know at least to use some of them for you as a teacher, and also to improve your teaching and their learning, right? For that, that is also a video we will. Well, let's see if we have the time there. You listen here? Let me turn it off.
That's not good.
Oh, I don't need this. I'm already late.
Somebody will come. Anybody out there?
Oops. Do you listen? No. Yeah. Have the problem again when I.
We can listen.
Do you have a phone?
No. Sorry. Somebody! Hello? There are two people stuck on an escalator and we need help. Now, would somebody please do something? Help! I don't believe this. You gotta be kidding me.
I'm gonna cry.
Well, there's not enough left to do. That's it.
Hello? Hey, don't worry about it. I'll fix it in a second.
He said he can fix it. All right. All right. That's more like it. He says he can fix it.
Okay. So technology there, it is good, but not that much. They wouldn't. Now I show it to you. So technology is good, okay, but well, take it easy, okay, not that much. And for that, we have new tools for teachers. We now it's called Tech Lab, okay, new tools for teachers. All that embedded, everything I told you before, not only how to use, something has to do with Excel, Drive, Gmail, that is one part. And the other part has to do with the teaching, okay, how to use resources, technological resources, yes, techies, okay, for your lessons, okay? Okay, so far so good, okay? Yes, I've been speaking for a long time. I'm sorry if it was a bit boring for some of you. I didn't stop, but I want to thank you not only from Anna's workshops, from all the phases of this. I would say. I don't know how to say it. Is our institute is so beloved that we, all the teachers, we are part of this. We are all engaged with the sharing with other teachers. That well, I want to thank not only on my behalf, but also the rest of my team. That are some of them are there, some others are not today, but because but they back all us up, and they are part of this community that we want really to make it grow and to make it have like more people connected, yes, for learning and growing, okay? In Infocal, we have the hashtag Profesionalizate, so we're going to get together with that hashtag for English teachers too, okay? I don't know if you have any questions, anything. I'm going to stop the recording here, okay, the one on Zoom. So that I want to thank everyone here, okay? And if you have any questions, I'd be delighted to answer, right? So there we are. Let's see. Do you have any questions? No? Are we okay? Was it okay? Was it clear? Was it too fast? Hello, girls. How are you? No? Was it okay? Yes? Okay, so I hope to see all of you in our workshops. I want to thank you very much for being here today. It is my pleasure, really my pleasure. I want to tell you that as I've been out of line for a while, but I am back here. So anything that you want to ask me, if there are some other courses or workshops that you're interested and that you want to improve, that you want to learn, just let me know. These are the ones under my diagnosis, let's say, or what I've been working on. I think there are things that are necessary, but of course we have the workshop that had to do with how to prepare for Cambridge exams, how to teach English for specific purposes. All those are still working, but I didn't want to include them today because it was too much. Okay, so if there are no questions, I want to thank you, all of you to be there. Hope to see you again next time, and I'll be sharing with you the material later, okay? The ones who, for example, Marcelo, for example, if I don't have your phone, send me a message so I can send you the material. No, thanks to you, Marcelo. Thank you very much. I send you the material, I promise. The gift I gave you that I told you about Teacher Lighthouse, okay? Teacher's Lighthouse, okay? Thank you very much. All the best. Thank you. Bye-bye, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, thank you. No, thanks to you. Here. Ahí estamos. Lo compartimos. ¿Y how was it?
Really nice.
You like it? It was a lot.
Yeah.
No? Was it okay? Okay, any questions? Anything that you...
And have a look.